So, Chiwetel and Ed, congratulations on Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Thank you.
I was wondering, did you guys get a chance to check out the first Maleficent first, and what were your initial impressions of it?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I saw it. I came to it a little late, but I loved it when I saw it, and it really made me think about all of this, the sort of character tropes that I had kind of grown up with in terms of the fairy tales that I had seen when I was young, and I love that kind of way of inverting all of that and trying to tell slightly different stories that aren't as binary, and certainly around the ideas of good and evil and wicked witches and all of that stuff, which, as you get older, you think, I wonder how helpful some of those ideas were in the end, And so I thought it was wonderful that it really kind of just came at it from a completely different angle and complicated all of that stuff and made it much more nuanced. And I think that's, a great way to sort of start to re-look at these kinds of stories. And so I was very excited about opening up that universe and being part of it.
And for yourself, Ed?
Yeah, and I think it was exactly the same. I was so, I'm much more interested in the evil, naughty, deliciously mischievous characters, and Angelina plays it so wonderfully. So my experience was very much like Chiwetel's. What I was excited about was, as he says, is joining it. But then after that, now I'm so happy seeing the final outcome, because we really have kind of pushed the conversation on one step further. In fact, while I was watching it, I was about an hour into it thinking, wow, we're doing this. We're really challenging these notions, and everyone is somewhere in the grey area between good and evil, and it's such an interesting proposition. And in a way, it's like a whodunit, because you're kind of trying to work out who everyone is at every moment, and the kind of moral positioning inside of it. So, yeah, it's amazing to be a part of it.
Actually, picking up on that idea of evil, Maleficent obviously is a kind of villain, and you guys have both had experience playing villains. Chiwetel most recently in The Lion King, and Ed, you've played a lot of villains. So I was wondering, is what they say true, and playing the bad guy, is that more fun?
I think the real actor answer, which is the truth as well, is that you want the most nuanced and interesting and dynamic characters emotionally, okay? Mm-hmm. And that sometimes is written to be the protagonist, but a lot of the time the antagonist does have a much more, can have a more interesting role, but sometimes the bad guys are not serviced as well narrative-wise as the good guys, so you have to pick and choose. I don't only play bad guys, but I do enjoy it.
I think it's really fun playing bad guys, because it's a bit of a wrestle, because it's exciting playing, going into that sort of world, and then also you're trying to find a way of empathizing, not necessarily sympathizing, but empathizing with the character and trying to work out why they're doing what they're doing, and that can, just lead you down some kind of interesting paths of your own psychology, we all like to flatter ourselves in a way that we're good people, and so that, moving into the good guy roles, you think, yeah, I'm sort of like, I have this kind of dynamic. But the bad guys, I think can be a lot of fun to explore.
Yeah, I think exploring characters that exist somewhere in the middle is truly the place to be. I like kind of bad good guys and good bad guys, and again, that's why this is such an interesting world.
The design of both of your characters is so fabulous. Those fairy-like creatures like Angelina Jolie. How much of that was hair and makeup compared to like CGI in the movie?
Well, it was all hair and makeup and prosthetics except for the wings. We had these little nubs on our back and these kind of temporary wings that were sometimes there for sizing, but the wings were pretty much all VFX, but everything else was practical.
Amazing. And how many hours would that have taken to, get
Oh, not long. It was just like, 10.5 hours for the makeup test, nothing much. 4.5 hours every day when we were shooting, and an hour to take it off at the end of the day. So yeah, it was basically nothing at all,
Well, I'd love to talk to you guys more about this, but unfortunately I'm out of time. But thank you so much for meeting me, and congrats on the movie again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One can never be too careful. This is isn't you. You do not know me.